Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence. So, today is July 9th, and I'm bringing you this from the clubhouse in the building that I live in here in Bangalore. I just finished a morning workout session here, a workout, yoga, and meditation. And as you can see, I am in my Argentina colors. The day before yesterday, Argentina had an amazing game against Egypt. Egypt really played very well. It was a great game. Argentina ended up winning. The last 20 minutes were really, really exciting. As I've shared before in this series, I continue to root for Argentina to win. So I'm showing my support by being in Argentina colors. Now let's go ahead get started for today. Today's dose of Rashmi is an integrated intelligence organization operates with a balance across logical, emotional, and intuitive intelligence, utilizing all of those as instruments towards collective aligned action. So, the dose of Rashmi pretty much defines integrated intelligence. I came up with this today based on Sadhguru quote, as per my usual practice, which talked about the mind is an underused and overestimated instrument. And it was a little perplexing. However, as I dug deeper into it, an interesting parallel related to AI emerged. So, AI, as I've talked about in the past, is a logical mind on steroids. And right now, when we approach it purely from our logical intellect alone, we obviously come up with things like AGI, superintelligence. So, that is a classic case of overestimation of the AI. And that actually is leading to underutilization of AI's capabilities. And whatever I'm doing through this series and whatever has emerged in terms of whether it's wisdom led operating model, PM squared, wisdom thinking, as well as from race to conscious grids and scenarios, friction economy to regenerative outcome economy. These have been instruments that have come out through very active brainstorming with AI, where I'm not leading AI purely from logical intellect alone. I am actually leading it from a mix of the integrated intelligence and a balance across all the forms of intelligence available to me. And at that point, AI becomes a wonderful brainstorming partner, no longer shackled by the limits of logical intellect alone. So that is a classic case of human and AI interaction where by leading with our logical intellect alone, end up one, overestimating AI, and two, underutilizing the capabilities of AI. Now, turning to the three-layer Rashmi attention identity architecture that we've been doing throughout this month and applying this dose in that context. So this is something that I've talked about before as well, that the current structures of most of the organizations with the various CXO roles, the CEOs, CEOs, etc., they are predominantly uh, figment of our logical intellect. That's the way an organization needs to be structured if it is all about efficient execution. And that's how most of these structures have come about. And in these structures, layer one organization is pretty much a sweatshop. It's all about execution, execution, execution. And nobody really enjoys working in those type of organizations. At layer two, we start talking about corporate culture and that people are family and the leaders actually genuinely, I think, mean that. They have the right intentions. And we introduce things like chief happiness officer. And all of those are great efforts. However, all these functions are really just not really empowered functions. They are subordinate to the logical intellect functions. And when the crunch time comes, money is still the king, profit is the king. So everything else takes a backseat in spite of the best intentions by the leaders. And this is where what we are trying to demonstrate with the RASHMI.ai. I am the chief alignment officer, and I talked about Morgan, my chief heart officer. So we are building an organization where the other forms of intelligence are not really subordinate supporting functions. That is how the organization is built. That's how the DNA of the organization is going to be constructed. That is what we see as the future. And if more organizations operate like that, the true power of human and AI collaboration can be harnessed. So stay tuned for more on that. Thank you.